Alright, YouTube, I was just thinking about this for a second, and it kind of makes sense for me to do a short video here. If this unit can read Q, there's a little bit of math behind Q. Just give you some real basic formulas here. This was taught to me a long time ago. Q equals frequency over bandwidth. Q also equals inductive reactance over DC resistance. So kind of what sparked this was, and I don't think about this stuff, because this is really the first LCR meter I've had in a while. So when I saw Q come up on it, I didn't know what to make of it, but certainly this meter has the ability to read Q. The reason it can read Q is because it knows the frequency that it's testing it at, it knows the inductance of the inductor, and it knows the DC resistance. And if it knows all three of those things, it can give you the Q. So I just want to show you some real basic stuff here on how we can go ahead and cross-check that and prove the meter's reading. So 2.016 millihenries is what we're reading at a test frequency of 1 kilohertz. So if we flip that to DC resistance, I still don't know what the difference between DCR and the other resistance scale is, but we're going to use DCR since DCR applies to the way the formula's always been denoted to me anyway. So we'll check the DC resistance on it. So it says 1.49 ohms. So we need one other real simple formula here. X sub L equals 2 pi FL. We're going to need this for up there. We got the DC resistance at 1.49 ohms. So we got that much of it. So all we need is X sub L. So we know the test frequency was 1 kilohertz. That's F. And L is the inductance of it. So if we take 2.016 millihenries times 1 kilohertz times 2 pi, which is 6.28, equals 12.66 ohms. So if we go back and substitute that in, to the 1.49 ohm DC resistance we had, this number here better match that number, at least relatively close. It's close. 8.49 is actually the Q that I get doing the calculations based on what it told me the inductance was, what it told me the test frequency was, and what it told me the DC resistance was. So when you factor in the inaccuracy in any number of those three readings, that would certainly be enough to kick 8.26 up on a meter as opposed to 8.49. So I'm not sure which reading it may have been that wasn't 100% accurate. It could have been the test frequency, it could have been the measured inductance, or it could have been the measured DC resistance. But that's actually what the Q calculates to be, 8.49. All super useful stuff. So if you run this number against that number, there's an error of 2.71%. So that's seems pretty reasonable in my mind. So yeah, anyway, Just wanted to show you some really easy math here for anybody that doesn't understand how to compute the Q of something. And just wanted to do a little scientific experiment to double check the math inside this LCR meter against this that never tells you anything wrong. So, appreciate you watching my video very much. Have a great day.